Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto. Hope you're having a great day. Got a lot to unpack today. We have the producer price index numbers that came out today, and they're actually pretty much in line with expectations. That's sending the markets a little bit higher. I mean, the stock market dropped like 1,200 points yesterday. I mean, Bitcoin dropped like 10%, Ethereum like around 10%. So it was not a good day yesterday anywhere. But it does point to, things not as bad as what people had originally thought. So it kind of makes me think that, yeah, I'm pretty much solid on, I think Jay Powell's next increase is going to be 75 basis points. 100 would be extreme and would surprise a lot of people. And I'm pretty sure that's not what he wants to do. He's a historian. He already made that mistake. He's probably not going to want to do that again. Back in 2018, I think he made that mistake. So I think things are gonna come through. I did mention yesterday in my third video. Yes, I did three. I'm traveling now, so you're gonna see the video slightly different. You're not gonna actually see me because I couldn't get a good background. So I'm just doing what I got to do. It's been said that whales are trying to manipulate the market, and it's pretty much true. They are trying to manipulate the market. You still have Bitcoin miners that are dumping Bitcoin out there, and you do have a couple of whales, which could be the Bitcoin miners, dumping Bitcoin. That's fine. That's fine. It'll come back to bite them sooner or later. It doesn't matter. And the fact that they went through all that, the market took a dive, and it's coming back, like Bitcoin is still back above 20,000. That's a very big deal. At least to me, that's a very big deal. So those are all interesting things. Actually, I should start here. Sorry about that. And back to the news. So major moves in the metaverse, right? We'll start with projects that are being kicked off, like Metaverse Standards Forum kicking off 4 different projects, to create interoperability, one of them being interoperability for 3D assets. So that's a really, really, really big deal. That's fundamental, just about, right? The ability to take objects with you from metaverse to from different areas of the metaverse controlled by different entities. That's interoperability. So that's huge, and I applaud the Metaverse Standards Forum for taking that on, and the 3 other projects that we've approved. So that's really, really big. You have JP Morgan looking to, I told you the other day, they're looking to increase their Web3 presence in a major fashion. What's really cool about that is they're looking for expertise in Web3, crypto, and Metaverse, right? I think that's going to play off to wind up being very, very big as you move forward. So even though, the cryptoverse and the stock market and the global economy is taking a hit, you have high inflation around the world, you have most likely recessions hitting. There's a quote unquote technical recession going on in the United States right now. But even with all that negativity, including, macro events like, the war against Ukraine from that stupid country, actually the stupid leader of the country. I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself that the cryptoverse market, it really is demonstrating a big resilience, right? I think we should be paying attention to that. With all the naysayers out there, there's a congressman that's talking about he wants a ban on crypto. He's an idiot. Let's just run with that. He's an idiot. Too much going on. It's just not going to happen. So you do have a lot of projects that are going on in the metaverse that really scream, hey, things are not so great right now, but the solid foundation for future growth and future prosperity is definitely being put in the works. JP Morgan is there. Puma just announced their new stuff. You have a whole bunch of big major companies, not just financial players, but major brands getting involved in the metaverse, right? Building interest. Now, let's get to India. I keep telling you that India is the weirdest place for crypto. Like, I would not be there if I was doing crypto. If I had my crypto business, we're not doing that. The reason why is they're squeezing, that their crazy ass taxes are forcing people to leave the local exchanges and flip over to foreign exchanges like Binance. Why? To avoid taxes. Their taxes are ridiculous. So when you think about this, you have people leaving, right? Not the country, but moving their digital assets from local exchanges over to foreign exchanges. So instead of giving people a doable tax rate, they're squeezing them out of the market. And so imagine local exchanges are going to be hurting. So is it possible for them to go out of business? It really is possible. I mean, it's nuts. Why would you do that? I mean, just a little bit of pragmatic thought will definitely get you there. This is not a difficult thing, right? In good news, though, for crazy good news for Avalanche, KKR is leveraging Avalanche's blockchain to offer tokenized private equity fund assets for individual investors. This growth fund is worth currently about $4 billion. What's his name? Mr. Parent, who is I think it's Daniel Parent. Let me look up his name because it's pretty rude. He's saying, listen, we got a lot of inquiries from individual, investors. Dan Parent, in case you don't know, he's a managing director over there at KKR, and he's the co-head of U.S. Private Wealth. All right, and they're doing this because of demand, not because we just feel like doing it. No, they're doing it because of demand. So tokenized assets, what? And it's along the same lines as what I was telling you is going on over at Onyx Digital Assets. So they have plans on doing that, and guess whose name popped up just a few days ago that's working with them to do this? BlackRock. Yeah. So this is a very, very burgeoning space. So right now you have a few billion, but companies like BlackRock, Fidelity, because they're going to get involved in doing this. You're talking about just BlackRock alone represents trillions of dollars. In assets that can be tokenized. So that's insane. That's very much insane. So you should really be paying attention to, the market took a hit yesterday, the cryptoverse took a hit yesterday, and these are things that we could be doing going forward, right? DCA, leverage dollar cost averaging to buy when things are low. Because eventually things are going to go up, and not go up by a little bit, but go up in a big fashion. In a very big fashion. I'm expecting HBAR, Hedera Hashgraph, to be able to take advantage of some of these institutional moves. Go do some research on that. Go do some research on Hedera Hashgraph. I think you're going to find some very interesting things. There's a very, very different way of doing blockchain. Something that annoyed me. Everybody knows I am not a major fan of holding, large amounts of digital assets on Coinbase. Well, did you know that the Coinbase Wrapped Staked ETH or ETH, the cbETH, that smart contract has a blacklist function. Now, it's a centralized exchange, so you can definitely see how, the United States government or some other government would say, hey, we need you to do something. You could definitely see that, right? But beyond that, and even with that, it does give me pause. Because it just means that they can blacklist your staked ETH on a whim. The capability is there to do that on a whim. So that definitely gives me pause and gives me concern. Hence, I only use, centralized exchanges, SEXs, to handle specific transactions, and then I move them to non-custodial wallets because I don't want my money managed by anybody I don't want my digital assets managed by anybody that has control over whether or not I get to keep my stuff. The fact that you can just snatch it away from me, oh, that's not cute. That's not cute at all. You know, and it's just, some of these things are happening below the radar. And you know, when I come across articles that point these things out to me, I make note. And that caught my attention in a major fashion. Something cool that happened, which is, it was kind of to be expected, but still needed to happen. Cloudflare will support the Ethereum merge along with the Sepolia and Goerli testnets. Now, you kind of expected that to happen because all the major players use Cloudflare as their internet on-ramp, right? So you expected that to happen. But it still needed to be announced. I think that's the last big player in the space to say that. So that's kind of cool. Now, this last one it falls into my big brass folder. Alex Mashinsky. You should know the name. He was a part of the Celsius contagion that ruined everything, right? This guy thinks that he's going to resurrect the failed crypto lender Celsius as a custodian. I have a question for you. Who's going to trust that guy to do that? Just let that wash over you for a minute. Would you? I'm not touching. I wouldn't touch Celsius with your 10-foot pole and somebody else taking credit for it. I just would not. I would absolutely stay away. Absolutely stay away. But we've been sitting here looking at the numbers. Let's refresh this screen real fast. So you can see all the losers here. You're looking at, you know, the 5% rule. So I stop right there. FTX is down. Their coin FTT, which is down 6%. Solana is down 6%. Let's see who else is here. ApeCoin is down 9%. Helium is down 9%. So those are the only ones that I'm going to pay attention to. But I will make note. If you're dumb enough to be playing around with Terra, oh yeah, that's right. They finally issued a warrant for Do Kwon and five other people from defunct Terraform Labs. You knew it was coming. I think they waited until they had enough evidence to actually bring charges, and the charges are that they have that they violated the Capital Markets Act. I don't know that Do Kwon is any place where they can get him. It's highly possible he is, but don't know that yet. But the warrant has been issued for him and 5 others. That I find to be incredibly interesting. On the winner's side, again, you're looking at Celsius Network up 25%, probably on that news. Again, wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole and somebody else taking credit for it. Not at all. Nope, I'm good with that. Ethereum Classic, you know, that's only a 4% move. There are very few winners over here, and none of these names I know. You know, obviously except Celsius since they screwed up everybody. So coming off of that, you have, like, again, we saw a big drop. I'm surprised that it didn't drop more after yesterday. The Fear and Greed Index is at 27, so it's surprising to me that it's only at 27. I thought we would be in extreme fear right now, but I guess it wasn't that much of a hit. Again, you know, the cryptoverse has resiliency. I think people should start paying attention to that. Everybody says, oh, it's going to go down, it's going to go down. I know it's going to go down. I get that. But there's a certain resiliency that's growing in the space. And I think that is what we should be paying attention to. Looking at how Bitcoin is doing, it's at 20,279. That's healthy. Above 20,000 is healthy. It's still, you know, within my inner band, it's still at the lower half of that. We've given back some of the gains. If you look at the gains that we had the other day, we've given back a lot of those gains, but we're still, you know, above that 20,000 mark. That's the happy mark, right? My established, bottom is still 17.6. We're at 20,284. I'm kind of liking how the bounce has come back to Bitcoin. The cryptocurrencies in general. Let's refresh this screen real quick. It's taking too long. So the cryptocurrencies in general are still getting hit hard. I get it. Totally get it. Bitcoin, Ethereum is down, but Ethereum is above 1,600 again. It had been in the 15s, so that's a big deal. If you look over here at Matic is about 86.1 cents. So I'm seeing that there's a serious resiliency. Now, it doesn't sound like much, but the number that Matic had been hovering around was about 83 cents. And it hit a low. It hit that new low, but it seems to have established a slightly higher low, right? At 86 cents. Because you figure it's down by a bit. Right? Let's go over to the list so we can go over that example. So here's Matic, number 12. And you can see that, it's about 85.8 cents. That's about 86 cents. And it's down. Over the past 24 hours, it's down, almost 8%. Being down almost 8% still puts it above that 83 cent mark. And I was mentioning a few days ago that you should be paying attention to coins that have established new lows and then proceeded to go higher because they're coming back down, but not to the old lows, but to the newly established lows. So that's interesting to me as I continue looking at, everything else that's going on. Even Cardano. Look at that number for Cardano, 48 cents. Very interesting to me. Now, if you're on Coinbase, you probably got notice that, hey, they're going to pause at about 8 o'clock tonight for the merge. The merge is going to happen, today, very, very late, but at some point today, right? And that's going to be really cool. Really cool. Sets the stage. And I think it sets the stage for some positive movement. Do I expect hiccups? I'm hoping there are none, but, I'm in technology and I know that hiccups happen. So, to me, kind of to be expected, right? It really is kind of to be expected. So I get it. But I'm looking at everything as a whole and I'm thinking the market is pretty solid. It's pretty solid. Where I was shaky a few years ago, I'm looking at the crypto markets now and I'm like, wow, it's pretty strong. So can there be a dip below even, can Bitcoin go below the 17.6 that I have currently as the bottom? Yes, it absolutely can. But I'm absolutely more confident of its return to even higher highs. And I think that's something that we should be paying attention to. All right. This is Eddie J on crypto. I hope you're having a great day. If you like what I'm doing, the journey that me and my kids are on, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and absolutely hit the notification bell so you know when we drop a new video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.